Use prefix multipliers to express each measurement without any exponents. This is a conversion type problem. We will be converting from the base unit, grams, meters, seconds, or liters, to a unit with prefixes, one of the standard prefixes. And we have some choices here. We can use decimals and a lot of zeros and go with a fraction of a larger unit, or we can go with a smaller unit and have, if we need zeros, then it will be multiples rather than divisions, which I think is the simpler way. So for number A, or problem A, we want to go from 38.8 times 10 to the 5th grams. Now, 10 to the 5th is what we have to get rid of. And so let's look at the units, the prefixes over here, and pick the one that deals with 10 to the 5th, or that is smaller than 10 to the 5th. In that case, it's going to be 10 to the 3rd kilo. And so we're going from grams to kilograms. So 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram. Now this is going to be very simple. Basically, we're moving the decimal place is all we're doing. And this would be 10 to the 3rd, and that will cancel 10 to the 5th, and we'll leave 10 to the 2nd. Okay, so I'll do it here on the calculator so you can see it. One of the things that confuses students seems to be how to use exponents in calculators, so this will show you how to do that. 38.8. Now we want to say times 10 to the 5th. A fancy graphing calculator has multiple ways to do it. The simplest way to do it is either to use the exponent key here, or an E or double E key on a TI calculator. So we'll say 38.8 exp, and then we'll do a positive 5. Now we're going to divide by 1,000. Divide by 1,000 equals, and this puts it right out for us. We get 3880. And we treat our units just like algebraic variables. Grams cancel, and the answer is 3880 kilograms. B, 55.2 times 10 to the minus 10th seconds. And in science, in electronics, in computers, very tiny fractions of a second are commonplace. So, which prefix is going to be smaller than 10 to the minus 10th? Smaller than 10 to the minus 10th means the next one with a larger negative number, a more negative exponent. Okay, so 10 to the 10th, or 10 to the minus 10th, 10 to the minus 9th is nano. 10 to the minus 12th is going to be pico. So let's use that one. And we have two ways to do it. I tend generally to go with positive numbers, large numbers rather than tiny ones, but I'll actually maybe do it both ways here. 1 second is 10 to the minus 12th picoseconds. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 to the 12th picoseconds. A picosecond is 10 to the minus 12th seconds, which would put the minus 12 under here instead of a 12 on the top. And make sure I've got the right unit there. And we do have pico and 10 to the minus 12. That table is one that I made up for my students a few years ago. And we'll put this into the calculator. 55.2 exp 10, change the sign, multiply by 1 exp 12 equals, and we get 5520 picoseconds. We would get exactly the same thing if we did it this way. And we would say 1 picosecond is 10 to the minus 12 seconds. And you'll see we'll get exactly the same answer. So 55.2 exp 10, change sign, divide by 1 exp 12, change the sign, equal 5520. So we can do it either way and still get the same answer. C, 23.4 times 10 to the 11th meters. Okay. Our sets of exponents tend to run in multiples of 3. Okay. So 10 to the 11th meters, we're going to go with gigameters. That'll be 10 to the 9th. We're familiar with giga from computer terms. So 1 times 10 to the 9th meters is 1 gigameter. So we have 23.4 exp 11, that would be 23.4 times 10 to the 11th, divided by 1 times 10 to the 9th. 1 exp 9 equals 2.34 times 10 to the 20th. I multiplied instead of divided, didn't I? Let me do that again. 23.4. It's always a good idea to do these twice anyway to make sure you haven't hit the wrong button. 23.4 times 10 to the 11th divided by 1 times 10 to the 9th equals, there we go, that one makes sense, 2340 gigameters. D. 87.9 times 10 to the minus 7th liters. Let's come back to our table. (10 to the minus 7th liters). The next one down is going to be 10 to the minus 9th. It's going to be nanoliters. So we can say 1 liter is 10 to the 9th nanoliters, or we can say 1 nanoliter is 10 to the minus 9th liters. Either way. Again, we're just moving the decimal place. 87.9 times 10 to the minus 7th times, we will multiply here, 1 exp 9 equals 8790. Nanoliters. And this is a review not only of the units and the prefixes, but also of what we call the unit factor method of doing conversions where you use your units. Using your units is an extremely important habit to develop. It'll save you from a lot of errors. Assuming you don't put something in upside down like I almost did up here. If you come out with the right unit, you should have the right answer.